Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac. I'm a guitarist, a relatively new one. I've been playing for about a year, and I picked up the guitar because I was so heavily inspired by the classic rock and prog rock artists that I grew up listening to and being exposed to that I wanted to participate. Um, I try to fill my life with music in any way that I can, and this is just another really cool way that I get to do that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while we listen to Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. Um, this album was kind of a titan when it first came out. It won a bunch of awards very soon after its release, but also in the decades preceding its release. It truly is a titan. And despite being, I think, produced by a British rock band, I think Dire Straits is British, it became so iconic that it was included on an album titled Americana, which has things like Wichita Lineman and uh, Restacks. Like a cover of Brothers in Arms was included on this album. It is seen as such a an integral part of the development of that music. So genuinely a legendary album, and I'm really excited to get into it. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. We're going to start in three, two, one, bam.
Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me. And where are you when the sun goes down? You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. So far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me.
Aw. Aw. That's so nice.
Tired of being in love and being all alone. When you're so far away from me, I'm tired of making out on the telephone. 'Cause it's so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. And I get so tired when I have to explain. And you're so far away from me. See, you've been in the sun and I've been in the rain. And you're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. Take it out. So far away from me.
That guitar is like juicy, for lack of a better word. It's so good. Oh man. That is such a dreamy first piece. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about this before we go into the next one, because that's one of the strongest openings to an album I've ever heard. It's not asking much of you in terms of like interpreting. This is such a somatic experience. It really leans into the ache that's being expressed. This idea of being, removed from the person that you want to be with the most. The never-ending ache that comes with that. It's so well expressed, and it like that chord progression never gets old, and the momentum that's added with the piano, like it keeps the flow moving. And there's like the kind of 80s synth thing that's happening, which personally I am a sucker for. I love like 80s synth stuff. I love Genesis. I love Phil Collins. I love that kind of like, I don't know. That the 80s synth vibe, I love it. I love it when it comes up in movies. I love it when it comes up in music. I don't care how much of a cliche it became. There's a reason it became a cliche. It's because it sounds awesome. I really enjoyed this piece. Let's move into the next one. Bam. Is this? Yes, it's this one.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. To the little faggot with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. The little faggot got his own jet airplane. The little faggot, he's a millionaire. should have learned to play them drums. Look at that mama, she got it sticking in the cameraman. We could have some. And he's up there. What's that? Hawaiian noises. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Listen here, now, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. Money for nothing. And your chicks for free. Ooh, and money for nothing. Chicks for free. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. All that money for nothing. Chicks for free. 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 Look at that, look at that. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. 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 Easy, easy money. Easy, easy chicks for free. Easy, easy money for nothing. Chicks for free. That ain't working.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit before we move into the next one. When I was looking into this album before recording this, it said that Mark Knopfler, first of all, produced every song on the album. I think there was a co-producer there too, who's also a legend for being a part of this. I don't know why I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but like, it's so impressive the level of talent that Mark Knopfler has to have like written every song and played the guitar on every song and produced every song. But I remembered seeing that he had written every song on this album but one, where there was a co-writer, and that co-writer was Sting, um, which is to me utterly amazing. But it was 85, so I think Sting was like he was hitting the charts in his own rights at that point, and it seems like he was in that recording studio to do his own thing and also to help with this. But the point is, Money for Nothing is the song that Sting co-wrote. And I find that utterly amazing. Like, his voice in this is also just so distinct that, like, if there was any question of which song it was, the opening to this tells you. Now, as far as the song itself, to me, it's 85. It sounds like it's critiquing like MTV celebrities, like people. It might, from what I can tell, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's talking about like industry plants, people who don't do the work to become famous musicians through the merit of their own music. They're just they're interesting personalities that come up on people's TV screens, and the music becomes secondary to the TV appearance. So these people end up getting money for doing very little work. So they get all the pomp and frills of fame and notoriety, but they don't actually put the work in to earn the place that they got to. They got handed money for nothing. I think that's what the song is saying, but let me know if I'm wrong. I really enjoyed this also, just like that opening bit where there's like the opening almost reminded me of like Pink Floyd, like 70s Floyd, like I don't know, just that kind of lead in that gets you feeling atmospheric, and then it hits you with that, I think, Stratocaster riff, and it's such a, like, the other song, the first song was really good to lead it on, but this was like, this settles you into the rockness of the album, which I really appreciate. This was really fun. I had a great time listening to this. Let's move into the next one. Bam.
Then they do comes Johnny singing oldies, goldies. Me Papa Lula, baby, what I say. Here comes Johnny singing, I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it pay. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. The dedication, devotion, the turning all the nighttime into the day. And after all the violence and double talk, it's just a song in all the trouble and the strife. You do the walk, yeah, you do the walk of life. You do the walk of life.
Okay, let's talk about this before we move into the next one. First impression of the song, just based on like what I think it's talking about, is I think it's just like a general celebration of music more than anything. It talks about some of the hardships of the world, some of the hardships in life, but there's this emphasis and re-emphasis of the love and dedication to music. And there's the mention of how this character is kind of carrying the music of the generations with him. So like no matter who you are or what you do, where you are in the world, there's like music touches everybody's life. So I think like it seems to be a celebration of that. And it also shows that you're in good hands, because the album's not taking itself too seriously in this way. There's a goofiness to the way that Mark Knopfler is singing. There's this playfulness that comes with it. It's really high tempo and upbeat and happy. This was really cool. I really like this piece a lot. Walk of Life is it's the fact that it's number 3. Like we came in with these first two, which like Money for Nothing it's a major hit that I think most people have heard at least once at some point in their lives, but like the song that preceded it, incredible as well. So the fact that we're like 3 for 3 on just the like kick ass songs, it's really cool. I'm really enjoying the album so far. So yeah, let's move into the next one. Bam. Getting like nightclub vibes right now. Oh man.
lines have been struck between the satin bowls and their bells. Prehistoric garbage trucks have the city to themselves. Echoes and roars, dinosaurs, they all doing a monster mash. And most of the taxis, most of the whores are only taking calls for cash. I don't know how it happened, it all took place so quick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. Well, now my door was standing open, security were laid back and lax. It was only my heart that got it broken. You must have had a pass key made out of wax. You played robbery with insolence, and I played the blues in 12 bars down on Lover's Lane. And you never did have the intelligence to use the 12 keys hanging off of my chain. I don't know how it happened, it all took place so quick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. Well, that's past last call for alcohol. Past recall has been here and gone. The landlord, he finally paid us all. The satin chairs men have put away their horns. And we're standing outside of this wonderland, looking so bereaved and so bereft. Like a Bowery bomb when he finally understands the bottle's empty and there's nothing left. I don't know how it happened, it was faster than the eye could flick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick.
Let's talk about this real quick before we move into the next one. This album is really cool pacing because we just came off of Walk of Life, which was very happy, high tempo, and we're coming into something that's a little more jazzy and melancholic. The saxophone is absolutely beautiful, and it's got some incredibly tasty lines that it does throughout the song. The way it takes over in the end, it feels very natural, and it doesn't, like, it fills in the space enough that I don't feel like it lost a bunch of momentum when Mark Knopfler and his vocals came out of the song. Um, Incredibly well composed. It was very beautiful. It was very sad. It gave this sense of loneliness. It felt like a person that was lost expressing themselves. It's very sad. I also love, like, it almost went from like like mid 20th century nightclub vibe at the beginning to like it like caught up to the 80s by the end with its sound. That was really cool to hear that transition happen with the introduction of new musical elements. That was very beautiful. Another thing, I really like the album cover on this, because I've been looking at it for a while and it occurred to me that the guitar looks like a smiling face. It's got the two Y's at the top of the body on either side of the base of the neck, and a little mouth where the bridge is. It's pretty cool. I like that. Let's move into the next song. Bam.
Baby, I see this world has made you sad. Some people can be bad. The things they do, the things they say. But baby, I'll wipe away those bitter tears. I'll chase away those restless fears, and turn your blue skies into gray. Why worry? There should be laughter after pain. There should be sunshine after rain. These things have always been the same. So why worry now?
Aw.
Why worry now?
Let's talk about this before we move into the next one. That was incredible. The 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 blues has some influence here. The way it really sits in the licks for a long time. I felt like I was able to like kind of sit back and hang out with the various riffs for a little bit, and it was really interesting to let the song kind of play with my ears as we went, because that's very much what it felt like was happening there. Um, the guitar work, especially in the beginning, it's so like folksy and friendly and intimate and beautiful. Um, and I love the way that this song is. It's a love song, and it's one of the best love songs I've heard, because it's not like a pursuit kind of love song. It's not trying to persuade someone to be in love with you. It really sounds like somebody who is in love and they're talking to somebody that they already share love with, and it's like they're trying to comfort them, and they're trying to kind of be there for them. um and that's like the song has a very sweet, gentle, comforting kind of vibe. It kind of, it talks about how whatever hardships may lie ahead, there's also an other side to that. So it's not worth staking all of your anticipation on the bad things that are going to come, because there are good things that will come too. And the cool thing is the fact that it's a love song. It reminds you that love can be one of those things. So like from a writing standpoint, from a thematic standpoint, I think this matters. This will come to matter on the album. And I also think that just from a compositional standpoint, this is incredible. We really are 4 for 4 on the songs here. Like all of them written by Mark Knopfler except for Sting. This is really cool. I'm really excited to keep going. So let's move into the next one. Bam.
Soldier of freedom in the army of the man. Oh, we are the chosen, we're the partisan. Alright. Well, the cause it is noble and the cause it is just. We are ready to pay with our lives if we must. Gonna ride across the river, deep and wide. Right across the river to the other side, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I'm a soldier of fortune, I'm a dog of war, yeah. And we don't give a damn who the killing is for. It's the same old story with a different name. Death or glory, it's the killing game. Gonna ride across the river, deep and wide. Right across the river, to the other side. Stop him as the day follows the night. Right becoming wrong, the left become the right. And they sing as they march with their flags unfurled. Today in the mountains, tomorrow
Um, let's talk about that before we move into the next one. So, something that I notice that kind of strikes me. I want to look at this again real quick. Yeah, so like this is really interesting. So there's this from a social commentary standpoint. In 1985, I think like in the world the Iran-Iraq war was happening, and there's in this there's this sense in the lyrics that like there's a there's a lack of care about the actual substance of the fight that's being had. There's just a thirst to profit off of what's going on. Um, and it not only doesn't care about the people that these militaries are being sent to kill, but it's also not caring about the lives of the people that are being sent to war for the sake of that kind of profit. And I think for an album that clearly seems to be interested in discussing matters of the military, I think it's important to talk about this kind of thing, the waste of life and the sickening nature of the purpose for that. The song itself feels cold. It feels relentless. It makes you sit in the tension that it's bringing to the table for quite a long time, before it does one last tense swell and then drops out with it almost sounds like a war horn. It's really interesting what they did there. This was incredibly well done. It accomplishes its goal very well. It makes you uncomfortable, leaves you sitting there for a long time, and it's relentless in that. It's very cool. So I'm really interested to see where they go from here. All right, let's move into the next one. Bam.
I'm just an aging drummer boy, and in the wars I used to play, and I've called a tune to many a torture session. Now they say I am a war criminal, and I'm fading away. Father, please hear my confession. I have legalized robbery, called it belief. I have run with the money, I have hit like a thief. Rewritten history with my armies and my crooks, invented memories. I did burn all the books, and I can still hear his laughter, and I can still hear his song. The man's too big, the man's too strong. Well, I tried to be meek, I have tried to be mild, but I spat like a woman and I soft like a child. I have lived behind walls that have made me alone, striven for peace, which I never have known. And I can still hear his laughter, and I can still hear his song. The man's too big, the man's too strong. the sun rose on the courtyard, and they all did hear him say, "You always was a Judas, but I got you anyway. You may have got your silver, but I swear upon my life, your sister gave me diamonds, and I give them to your wife. Oh, Father, please help me, for I have done wrong. The man's too big, the man's too strong.
Let's talk about that before we move into the next one. What an incredibly soft and beautiful ending to land on there. I wasn't expecting that, like, that soft, like, pillowy synth that we got there at the end. That was really cool. The guitar work in this was fantastic, especially that, like, heavy strum where it sounds like he was, like, really gripping the pick, because, like, what an amplifier gripping the pick is. But, like, he really strums the hell out of those chords in the chorus. The man's too big, the man's too strong. Like, it really, like, emphasizes those strums in those moments, and, like, it really drives the momentum there. Now, to be transparent about what I was writing down was this mention of the man. I noticed that came up in the previous song. It talks about, like, being from the perspective of, like, a war profiteer, somebody who doesn't really care about the loss of life. But it also mentioned, I think, that they were doing this for the man. And now it's, like, from the perspective of somebody who's on the other side of that, who it's almost like they're seeing now the horror of what they engaged in. And the reason I bring up these mentions of the man, it's almost like in the previous version, in the previous song, it's like a soldier they know they're acting on behalf of the man, but they think that, like, the profit is for them. And now that they're on the other side, they're kind of just haunted by the horrors that they've engaged in. And they feel like they got swept up in something that was way bigger than they were, for the intentions of something that it's like beyond them. It didn't care about them either. So it feels like the man is, it's kind of a thematic motif. It's talking about the bodies that are responsible for these wars from the perspective of the fodder, basically, that these governments use. That's just my reading of it so far. Let me know what you guys think. This is really cool. I'm really excited to keep going. Let's move into the next one. Bam.
60 notes on my blue guitar. I can't get no antidote for. Ooh. Oh yeah. Ooh. I can't find the reason for your action. Oh, I don't much like the reasoning you use. Somehow your motives are impure. Somehow I can't find a cure. Can get no antidote for. Ooh. Oh yeah. Ooh. Say it's mostly vanity that writes the plays we act. They tell me that's what everybody knows. There's no such thing as sanity, and that's sadist fact. That's the way the story goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Can't get no remedy on my TV. It's nothing but the same old news. Well, they can't find a way to be one world in harmony. Can't get no antidote for. Ooh. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Okay, let's talk about this before we move into the next one. You know, I don't have a lot to say about the lyrics. It does feel like they kind of speak for themselves in terms of like it's talking about the blues and what brings up the blues. But what I'm really interested in, like what really like caught me here was the guitar work. Like you can really tell when a musician starts to get into their like bread and butter, because like they start to play around so much with their instrument, and they stay in time, they stay in key, they still sound great. And you can hear how in his element Mark Knopfler is as he's playing this. It sounds absolutely gorgeous, and you can tell that you're in good hands, that you're in the hands of a pro who knows how to handle his work, knows how to handle his instrument, and has clearly been doing this for so long. Like he's so good at it that it's hard to imagine that he's somebody that ever needed to like train or practice to become good at guitar. He's so like he has this natural fluidity and carefree nature. There's a really great video somewhere out there where he's showing off all the different guitars that he's had and the different purposes that they've served for him over the years. And it's like, it's crazy because he'll just pick out a tune and then play it for like a minute straight, and it's in time. It's like studio quality playing, and it's casual to him. To be on that level, like you can see just like how with it this dude is with his guitar and how good at expressing himself he is. Really fun song. I had a great time listening to this. Just from a guitarist standpoint, this is inspiring to listen to. Let's move into the next one. Bam.
These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me, but my home is the lowlands, and always will be. Someday you'll return to your valleys and your farms, and you'll no longer burn to be brothers in arms. Through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I've witnessed your suffering as the battle reached high, and though it hurt me so bad, in the fear and alarm, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms.
That guitar, man, that strat.
There's so many different worlds, so many different suns, and we have just one world, but we live in different ones. Now the sun's gone to hell, and the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell. Every man has to die, but it's written in the starlight, in every line brothers in arms.
Um, the music first. You know, something that I've appreciated throughout this entire album is the brilliant use of blues techniques. The way that it has it's introduced licks, and it lets you sit in those things for a while, and it it's improvisational and kind of jazzy, but stays to a certain form, and it takes you in different directions. It takes you in joyous directions, like in Walk of Life. In It takes you in sweet, intimate, gentle directions, like in Why Worry. In oh, what's it called? It is called Right Across the River. Like in Right Across the River, it lets you sit in this tension that it's building. In One World, it's just pure blues, and it lets you sit in the classic kind of blues thing. And in this, it lets you sit in the sense of loss. It lets you sit in the melancholy, in uh the almost kind of nostalgic grief that's being expressed. Um, it sounded like there may have been like a harmonica or something kind of similar to that playing. Um, the guitar work in it was absolutely gorgeous. The way that each chorus led into a highly expressive Stratocaster, I think, guitar solo. Um, and then it launches into one that carries you through the rest of the song, and it just could not have been better produced. This album, front to back, has been expertly crafted. Not a single thing required to make it better. It knew exactly what elements it needed to use. And this song, the title song, the finale song, is no different. This one is really fantastic. And that was Brothers in Arms, the song, and also Brothers in Arms, the album. I really think that from a messaging standpoint, this album is really cool because like it there's some parts of it that don't necessarily have anything to do with war, but there are a lot of different explorations of people who have different orientations to war. Like I think in So Far Away, like I talked about like a vague long distance relationship kind of thing, but like I think that it's actually like it's somebody that's trying to reach out to a loved one, like a soldier trying to reach out to a loved one that they don't currently have access to because they're off fighting a war that they don't fully understand. And then you have the perspective of people who are actively engaged in the war, kind of believe in what they're doing. They believe in the rhetoric that's been kind of sold to them. And then the perspective of the people who come out on the other side and are like treated like monsters because they did absolutely monstrous things and they're haunted by the things that they did. And they have to come to terms with the way that they were swept up in something that was way bigger than them, because war machines don't care about their components. They only care that the war keeps going. And it's horrific. But for somebody that's already on the other side of that, it's a little bit late. They have to learn how to live with themselves. And it's another devious, horrific consequence of war is the people who are left behind and have to come to terms with the things they did during that war, especially if it was a pointless war, especially if it was a war that you come to find out was purely just to profit somebody who was working in a specific government and not even for like some righteous cause. It was all just making money for some person or some company. It can be incredibly rough, but it's not as rough as what's being described in the song Brothers in Arms, which is just the loss of being out there, losing the people that you fought alongside. Or I think maybe it's talking a little bit also about the way that war takes people from others, whether it's people on the field or it's people who are at home wishing their loved ones would come home. It takes people away. And it takes people away by lying to them to get them onto battlefields for the sake of some private entity's profit, with zero regard for what happens to the people in the war or the people who are being attacked. It's all for the sake of a few people that are trying to make money. And this is in the 80s. So yeah, it's the Iran-Iraq war. This is like, there's like imperialism happening in the world. And that's the war. There's civil wars happening too, but the widely reported on war that's happening is the proxy war that's taking place in the Middle East. And it does seem like there's some reference to that here, which is really cool. It's not even, it's a British band, but it doesn't feel like it's talking about like the UK being involved with a war. It feels like it's just talking about the experience of people in war and people who've been affected by it, which is, I think it's through line being war, it being an overall discussion about war, is why the album is called Brothers in Arms. Mark Knopfler's a musician, so there's some discussions about music in there as well. And there's some incredibly refreshing, novel compositions that are happening that keep you on your toes, but it's about war. The album is about war and the very human impact that war leaves behind. And it does it incredibly well. And it gets you into different moods by using a lot of blues techniques to get you in and keep you in the melodies and in the kind of atmospheres that are being built. And the fact that this was purely composed and written, save for like some help from the co-producer and from Sting, it was Mark Knopfler who did the majority of the work, like putting this thing together. It's absolutely incredible. The sheer like raw talent that went into the production of this thing. And it paid off. Like, it won so many awards that I think they had to ask, like they had to like decline some awards because it was too much after a certain point. And it continued to win awards for decades. It won a Grammy, I think, in '86, and then won another Grammy in 2006 because it stood the test of time. It so well stood the test of time that it received a cover song on an album that celebrated like essential Americana pieces, and it was made by a band in the UK that was recording it in the Caribbean. But it's a British rock band, I'm pretty sure. It's like, if I'm completely crazy right now, you can let me know, but I'm pretty sure it's a British rock band. At least Mark Knopfler's, like, he's got to be British. This album was absolutely incredible, though. Incredibly well composed. Its messaging is incredibly accessible. It's not subtle at all with what it's trying to say. And it's just super fun every step of the way. Every song is a 10 out of 10. It surprises and delights and intrigues, and it keeps you going with that momentum through the entire album. It doesn't miss a single beat, and you know that you're in good hands because you're in the hands of professional musicians who are really good at their craft, but also know how to have a little fun. And I really enjoyed this. I really, really, really enjoyed this. So, I'll definitely listen to more Dire Straits. And if there's anything specific that you guys want me to get into, you can let me know. But yeah, that was it. That was Brothers in Arms. And I think in the next one, you guys will get to hang out while we listen to Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while we listen to Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.